very exciting BDM owners all the way from Toronto, and we are here having a party. So for those of you who missed the party, I'm sorry. But regardless, and tonight actually is a very exciting night. As you can see on your screen, we are going to have a very intelligent trainer going to be doing the training for us. And many of you actually know this gentleman. His name is Rene Liaw. He's actually my sponsor, the one who introduced me to the business. I cannot thank him. I cannot thank him enough to actually pull me into this business. Because of his persistency and consistency, I joined the business, and now I'm financially free and enjoy my life. And that's why I'm telling everyone he actually changed my life a lot. And so for this gentleman, actually, we started the business back in 2007, and he was a programmer, and he had a full-time job. And then he really worked really hard. Like during the daytime, he was working, and during the nighttime, he came to the office and doing a tour and doing the closing for his team. And just in a short bit, I think within the first year, he managed to quit his pretty high-paid job and doing the business full time. And then in a few years, in the business right now, 6+ years, he already a second millionaire of global wealth trade, and he's right now this BMW M5 for free, and he has he's multiple award winner, and as also you can see on the picture there, his VDM by last year already made $17 million. So he's an excellent compensation plan trainer, and he did a lot of trainings on that, and he actually going to do a detailed training on this for us. So you don't want to miss this training. And if you have anyone that's in your team hasn't logged in yet, make sure you want them to be part of it. And we are going to record this training, and we are going to have this training, play over again for you. So let's stay tuned and make sure that have this great time with Mr. Rene Liaw. And let me check if Rene's on call with us. Hi, Rene, are you there?
Yes, hello. Yes, hello. Can you hear me okay?
Loud and clear. Take it away, please.
Okay, well, thank you, Sherry. I actually almost didn't want you to stop introducing me there. I felt so good about myself, and I'm just kidding. A very good evening, everyone, or good morning, wherever you are in the world. Again, thank you very much, Sherry, for that incredible introduction. You do make me feel very special, of course, and of course, it was an honor having you, work with me as a partner side by side in GWT, and of course, I'm so happy for your lifestyle today. Intelligence, is a question, but for sure for tonight in this training, you do not have to be at all intelligent, because I tried to make this training so simple. As most of you might know, I do have, a website called OURGWT.com, OurGWT.com, where I actually did do a lot of comparisons on competition plans and, of course, much more detailed training. But the good thing about it, it's made to be super simple, that anyone can understand this. And just by asking a few simple questions, you're going to sound like a compensation plan expert, because really and truly and honestly, it's that simple. So tonight's agenda, very quickly, we're going to cover a few quick questions, and of course, but you'll find out later on that these questions aren't even actually the most important thing. These questions are just to make you sound smart, basically. Because what you're going to do after these questions is you're going to basically bring out the key point that's going to help you, when you're talking to, of course, your prospects, or you're talking to, other people who might be, in different companies. You're going to learn how to be able to, of course, sort of show them exactly why GWT is so much better. I just did increase the volume on my microphone. I saw some, some sort of comments coming in that I'm not too loud. So hopefully I'm loud enough now. Okay, so moving right along, compensation plans made simple. Again, the first few questions you want to ask, I'm going to sort of give you the background on why these questions. The first question, Number one. And if you have a piece of paper and pen, you want to take some notes, that'd be great. It will be recorded. Question number one. Very simple. How many legs do you get paid? Okay, how many legs do you get paid? Because legally, the minimum that you can get, that you have to build to make income in direct sales is 2. Okay, so if you think about it, I met other people in different companies where they have to build, 2, 3, 4, 5, in some cases 12 legs. In some cases, there's no limit on how many legs you have to build. Now, so logically speaking, when you ask them, well, how many legs do you have to build? Whatever they say, all you have to say is, well, why would you want to build 3 legs when you just build 2 here at GWT? Because building 2 is the easiest. And sometimes people don't really get that. So what I say to them is, look, for example, if you had 10 people that you were going to introduce to a company, if you had to build, individual legs, because let's say 12 legs, then these 10 people you would put, sort of on your first level connected towards you. So they're all attached to you directly, which means that these 10 people don't actually get benefit from each other. Whereas if you're building just 2 legs and you have 10 people, well, essentially you could place 5, together on top of each other on one leg, like on your left leg, and put 5 together, on your right leg on top of each other. So truly and really, why would anyone want to build more than 2 legs when 2 is the absolute, minimum you can build? Because the more that you build, the less momentum you have. Of course, and the reason why you have less momentum is because the people aren't seeing growth happening below them. If you sponsored 5 people and you put them all on top of each other, those people are seeing growth, they're seeing momentum, they're going to get excited. So question number one is, how many legs do you have to build? And of course, that's going to make you sound like an expert, because what you can say is, well, why would I want to build more than 2 legs when at GWT you only ever have to build 2 legs? And of course, quick side note here, guys, write this down. Longevity and retention is always in depth. So the deeper your legs grow, the more longevity you will have in your business and the higher retention you will have. Why is that? Very simple. If you build your 2 legs very, very deep, okay, and sometimes some people, they join and they don't really get started right away. They kind of, they're hemming and they're hawing, and maybe a year goes by or 2 years go by. They come back to you. They say, you know what? I'm not sure about this business now. It's been about a year, 2 years. I haven't done much. I'm thinking about stopping. Well, then you can say, well, hold on. Let's take a look at exactly how much sales and how big your team has grown over the last 1 or 2 years. So again, if they were to see a very, very deep growth in the organization, chances are, if they know that it's commissionable volume like it is at GWT, they're not going to want to quit. So longevity builds in depth, and that equals retention as well too. Whereas if it's a unit-level plan where you build many, many different legs, and they don't see a big team below them, they have no incentive to want to stay with your company. So that's the first question. How many legs do you have to build? The second question you want to ask. Actually, this second question sort of combines with 3 and 4. So question number 2 is, how deep? So how deep do you get paid in your company's compensation plan? And, if it's not binary, pretty much you're not getting paid to infinity. So, there are certain kinds of comp plans. And, I don't even want to mention different kinds of compensation plans. And so at GWT, you get paid down to infinity on day 1. And just so that you know, most other companies' plans, they only pay you maybe, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, up to 8 levels, okay? And it's not like you get paid down to 8 levels, on day 1. In some of the other plans, you actually have to achieve certain ranks to gain extra pay on extra levels, okay? And in some other cases, it's not even really getting paid down to infinity, because some plans might say, well, we get paid down to infinity if you reach this rank of, super NATO commander, triple diamond, double black, quadruple backflip, whatever the name of that rank is. And so most cases, it's very simple. When you look at a plan, you can quickly determine, well, this is again, simple question. Why would I choose a plan where I only get paid down to 8 levels or 2 levels and maybe down to infinity, when at GWT, I can get paid from the very first level down to the very bottom, down to infinity on day 1 without having to achieve any kind of rank whatsoever. I mean, that just makes you look like a super genius, like you know what you're talking about, because you do now a compensation plan. Now, question 3 does relate to question 2. And I apologize if I sound a little bit stuffed here. I actually have a cold from the last 2 days here, so I apologize for the stuffy nose. But question number 3 is, well, what is the commission payout? Okay, so what I mean by this is I don't mean their bonuses, because we all know that bonuses come once, and you have to qualify every single time for those bonuses. What I'm talking about is the commission payout, okay? Commission as in your team commission, commission as in your residual income, okay? I'm not talking about any other kind of bonuses. I'm strictly talking about your residual income or your team commission, okay? And so at GWT, if it's dollar to dollar, it's 8%, right? Because every 6250 will pay you $500, which is 8%. If it's points to dollar, then it's 10%. But for simplicity's sake, I just 8% dollar to dollar. And what you'll find in most other companies out there is that either one, okay, it's not 8% on every level. It's usually like maybe 5% or maybe like 3% in their commissions. And even if some plans might have 8% or more, they have a lot of ranks. So you have to actually achieve certain ranks to unlock these commissions. So again, at GWT, well, why would I choose any other company when at GWT I can get paid 8% commission from my first level down to infinity on day 1 without having to achieve any sort of rank? And again, that just makes, you are now an expert again in compensation plans. And question number 4 actually really sort of relates to question number 3 too, which is the commission payout percentage the same on each level? So for example, let's say you saw a plan and it got paid down to 8 levels. In most cases, it's not like you're receiving 5% on every single level. In some cases, I've actually seen some plans where every single level has a different percentage payout. Some start from low and go to high as you go deeper down. Some start at a higher percentage, and the more levels or the more levels you go down, you get less percentages. The point is that in most other plans, the percentages of payout in commissions is not going to be the same on every single level. So again, why would I join any other plan in the world where GWT, I can get paid 8% commissions on my very first level down to infinity without achieving any sort of rank whatsoever? Okay, so these main questions, again, you don't really have to study the plans. All you have to do is ask the questions, and just basically say, why would you choose GWT? Because we only have to build 2 legs. We get paid down to infinity. Our commission payout is 8% on every single level, from the first level down to the very bottom, and there's no ranks to have to qualify for. Okay, so that's question 2, 3, and 4. Because we have a few more questions here, but but again, keep in mind that these questions are not really for you to try to have to become an expert in. It's just so you sound very, very intellectual. And of course, I'm going to show you what you're going to do after you ask these questions to basically seal the deal. All right. Question number 5, the big one. Does your company have ranks? Okay. And I can explain rank in a very simple, quick few words here. Okay. Ranks. The higher up the rank you go, the more money or bonuses you can make. That is as simple as ranks are. Okay, and a lot of companies have anywhere from 4, 5, or 6 ranks. I've seen one company, I don't want to mention their name because I have all the company comparisons on my website. One company had about 28 ranks. Can you imagine trying to achieve 28 different ranks? I mean, and not to mention that some of these ranks, you can go up, but if your team sort of falls apart, you can also go down. So imagine going up, 15 ranks and going down 5, going up 3, going down 4. I mean, that's just like stress, and that's like a migraine to me. So at our company again, when you ask a person, well, does your company have ranks? And they're going to say yes. The other 1%, you actually talk to a GWT member, you didn't even know about it. So again, every other company pretty much has ranks. The ones that don't are actually members of GWT that you didn't realize. But very simply, right? Why would I want to be in a company where I have to achieve certain ranks to unlock the highest payout when at GWT, without having to go through any ranks whatsoever, I can have the highest payout? I mean, guys, these questions are not, rocket science. I mean, my 5-year-old son could probably answer these questions. So my point is, again, ask these questions, right? Do you have ranks? They're going to say yes. We'll say, I mean, in our company, again, we have no ranks. So, you can get paid the highest commission possible simply by just joining our company. So why would I want to be in a company finger, you have less than 1% chance of attaining the income that you're talking about this guy makes, because less than 1% of the people in the company have that rank. And boy, oh boy, when I say that to most people, their face just looks like they're having some bad stomach reaction, and they want to run to the washroom. And also simple questions, simple things, simple concepts. Again, now you sound like an expert. Now, you might be asking, well, in UWT, we have ranks, diplomats, ambassadors, national ambassadors. And here's what I want you to understand. UWT, our ranks do not impact how much you make. Other companies, ranks will dictate how much you can make. In other companies, the higher up the rank you have, the more money you can make. At GWT, there is no relation. Our ranks are only like a indication of trainer status, so to speak. So in other words, for any of you people on the call tonight, there is nothing that separates what you can make and what I can make. We follow the exact same compensation plan. From LGBT, our ranks do not dictate how much income you can make, but in other companies it does. So I hope you guys like that part. Question number 5 is talking about ranks. Question number 6, and we're almost done the questions here. Question number 6 is, well, does your company flush volume? And you'd be surprised because life here at GWT, man, it's just nice. The grass is green, the air is fresh, and life is good. In other companies, believe it or not, there's a lot of flushing of volume going on. So I see one company where, once you make about $1,500 in that 1 week, they flush the rest of your volume. So imagine, for example, our number 1 earner of the company, Mr. Renes, he had about $8 million of accumulated volume from the time that he got started. Okay, so he joined in 05, got started in 08. He had accumulated over $8 million of volume. Imagine if Reza were to cycle at $1,500 or $5,000 or whatever, okay, and the company flushed the rest of his $7,995,000 whatever. Can you imagine how detrimental that would be to people in the company? So, I feel like they do a lot of flushing, and frankly, some other people in different companies, they don't even know if their company flushes the volume, but when you ask the question, again, you don't care what the answer is, you just sound smart, and you can say, in our company, we never flush the volume. Okay, question number 6 is done. You sound like an expert. So once you're done these questions, okay, what I want you to say to that prospect, Mr. Prospect, you know what? Aside from the compensation plan, which we've clearly seen, how GWT is just, incredible in so many different areas, aside from the compensation plan, you still have an underlying issue. And believe me, folks, I hope you're going to capture this really quickly here because, in most of my conversations today, on companies, I don't even focus much more time anymore talking about the compensation plan. I talk about their underlying issue. And their underlying issue, you can say, aside from the compensation plan, the issue is the products or the service your company is actually selling. Let's give that some thought, folks. Okay? Aside from the compensation plan, the issue, the underlying I got a chance today to look at the most recent stats for the DSA, which is the Direct Selling Association, and the WFDSA, which is the World Federation Direct Selling Association stats. If you go to Google and you type in DSA stats, or you go to Google, you type in WFDSA, which stands for, again, World Federation Direct Selling Association stats, you're going to see exactly the pages where I got these stats from, okay? And it ties into question number 7, which is, how many other companies sell what you sell? Or how many other companies do what you do? Because that is the underlying issue I'm talking about here, folks. The DSA, they said 15.9 million people in 2012 in North America were in direct sales. Okay, 15.9 million people in North America are in direct sales. 95% of those people are in health and wellness or service-based type of company. So if you take 95% of 15.9 million people, it means, hence, 15.1 million competitors you have to face. So the second someone joins any juice, weight loss, facial products, skin care, shampoo, soap, household products, juice, coffee bean powder, sort of a female pad, I thought of before too. Any kind of company in health or wellness or service, you can say you actually have 15.1 million competitors and an 8% retention ratio. I just ask, doesn't it make sense to be in a company where you don't have that many competitors? I mean, isn't this logical, folks? I'm not speaking of things of nonsense, right? All these things today, all these questions are simple logic here. But let's look at the WFDSA because, of course, our company is global. We have, 86 countries now plus and expanding. On the WFDSA, there are 89.7 million people worldwide in direct sales. So, if you're thinking that, I don't know what you're thinking, but I want you to know that direct sales is growing year after year after year in the whole entire world because the economy is getting tougher and people need an opportunity. So, of those people, 91% are in health and wellness and service-based companies, and again, an 8% retention ratio. Hence, 91% of 89.7 people means if you join a company in health and wellness or service-based company, which are a majority of them, you're going to have 81.6 million people competing against you, 8% retention ratio. I mean, I'm not a genius, but, I do understand basic 101 business. If you want to go into business, you want to find a business that has, as few competitors as possible, right? Because that way you don't have to worry about the next guy stealing your customer from you. And sadly enough, I always love to add this, that often enough in any other kind of health company, you have to become half a doctor to explain what is so special about that juice or that vitamin or that shampoo or that coffee bean or that whatever it is, right? You become half a doctor. So it's not as simple to do. And again, you don't have the credibility of a real doctor. So that being said, again, why would I want to be in a company where I have to compete with 81.6 million other people, where at GWT, the green is grass, the air is fresh, and people are happy here, which again leads to question number 8. To sum up again, wouldn't it make sense to be in a company with less competitors and higher retention ratio? And the answer is, logically, yes, of course it would be. Because Global Wealth Trade, folks, GWT is the only company in the entire world that does what it does. There's nothing else in the world like GWT. There's no other company that has a better compensation plan, and I proved it time and time and time again on my website. So again, folks, be happy. If this is your first company, folks, you ought to be glad that this was your first company. And if it was not your first company, then again, you better be glad because you found the right company. So our job, folks, our mission, and again, I want to thank Stu Mills because he said it himself, he feels like the direct sales industry is a red ocean full of blood. And when I was in Taiwan and Malaysia, I want to explain that concept to people in Taiwan and Malaysia. And I did the direct translation to Mandarin, and I said Hong Hai to my people in Malaysia and Taiwan, and everyone was just like, yeah, we understand that. Everyone's nodding their head because the current day and age of direct sales, it's a bloodbath out there. It's people jumping from one health company to another company, throwing money in the garbage. They're wasting all this money trying different companies, getting no results, and that is what's causing this red ocean, this blood field bath, this war zone we have today. Our job, folks, our mission at GWT is to bring people to the blue ocean where the green is grass, the water's clear, air is fresh, and people are simply happy and making money and enjoying their luxury products here. Okay. The last part for today's training, folks, hopefully you guys aren't, overloaded here. But again, very, very simple stuff here, right, tonight, folks, is what to expect sometimes from the people you're talking to. And these are the main things I get sometimes. Is you meet someone, and even after all that you said, they tell you, well, Rene, my products are truly remarkable, blah, 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 blah. Or they say, these products, this juice that I've taken has truly saved my life. Or they say, actually I had a story of someone in Taiwan, and he went for a meeting. He thought it was a date, and that date actually brought this older lady who was apparently her upline, and the first thing she said to my friend, who thought he was on a date, was, "Hey, you're actually balding. You need my shampoo for my company." Again, horrible example of lack of trust. But I see people say, this shampoo can help you grow your hair. Folks, reality check, okay? If it was really a shampoo in the world that could really grow your hair, it would be all over the news worldwide. There'd be miracle stories, people running on the streets, throwing shampoo in the hair and celebrating. The reality is that it doesn't really work, okay? So I've also heard my company products are truly the best out there. Rene, I've looked at many other companies, and only these products truly have, if you just take a try, these products truly have helped me. Or they may say, no, Rene, my service is the cheapest you can find out there. Like they're basically just trying to price battle with other companies. Or they'll say, Rene, the quality of my products, of this juice, this goji thing is absolutely the best. This coffee bean, I mean, it comes from special Malaysian trees where the beans are specially cooked in the sunlight under high micro pressure of like, if you get my point here, folks, okay? My point here is, whatever they say, I say, I eventually cut them off. I say, you know what, John? The issue of what you're telling me right now is that other distributors in other companies are saying exactly the same thing. And I looked at them. And, this other prospect that I met last week, I told them, I said, what? The issue is that what you're saying is that everyone else is saying the same thing. Every other company. You're telling me that your company is the best and you saw the company. Well, they're telling me the opposite. They're telling me that their company is the best and your company is worse. The point here, the underlying issue is that you're in the wrong company. Your products are too saturated. There's too many people doing the same thing. Okay, so again, what you want to tell us is, your issue is not even a comp plan. Your underlying issue is that you're in the wrong product. You're in the wrong service here. You have so many people saying the same thing. I was in a meeting one time with 3 or 4 people. One from I hate to put out names out there. But Amway, Usana, Amway, and and Herbalife, and and I actually asked the question. I said, well, 4 different members, in his house party. I said, well, who here has the best multivitamin? And actually, who here has the best multivitamin? And oh boy, you should have seen. Everyone was trying to be polite, but trying to promote their product to me. And when I eventually met with each of those people individually, I proved my point, saying, look, that's the issue you have. You're competing with so many other people, and you're all saying the same thing. You're all saying you have the best products here. Okay? Whew, hope you guys are having fun tonight. Another thing to expect sometimes. I absolutely don't understand why people do this, but we're talking about compensation plans, and they'll tell me, Rene, the top earner in my company makes $100 trillion a month. They might say, I'm exaggerating. They might say, well, my top earner, he made $1 million in his first 2 months, or $50 million in his first 5 years. I don't know what it is. Okay, and you might have heard that a few times. What I want you to say, and I want you to say it with such conviction, with such passion, and with such confidence, and with such direct eye stare down in his face. I want you to say, John, if we went by that logic to determine which compensation plan was the best, then we might as well say that Amway has the best compensation plan. Because Amway, of course, I think their top earner, makes the most money because it's been around for 50, 60 years. Okay, so if you're trying to tell me that based upon how much your top earner makes will determine which plan is better, then you might as well quit your company and go join Amway. Okay, so, and when you say that, you're going to give that prospect such a rude awakening. They're going to realize what a dumb thing it was to say, trying to promote their better, because, that top owner of the company, I asked that person, I said, John, this top owner of your company, what does that do for you? Does him making $100 million a month help you make $100 million a month? And he looks at me, question mark, blank face, just realize what a dumb thing that was to say. Then you want to say is, and this is where you can get really passionate, dig deep down inside, go into your heart. You want to say, John, I don't care how much other people say they make. Okay, I don't even care how much your top earner makes. What I care about is when I look at a compensation plan, is can I see myself making it? That's what matters. Because I see some compensation plans folks out there where, I would never even dream ever to go into that company because the compensation plan is so difficult. I will never even join that company, let alone the product, which was the underlying issue, right? The main point here, folks, is, again, I don't care how much people, how much your top earner makes or how much other people say they make. What I care about is when I look at this compensation plan is, can I see myself making it? And that's what happened for me. That's what happened for Sherry. That's what happened for Reza. That's what happened for Liaw, Shanghai. All the top earners in the company, they saw that, and that's why they're making the incomes they are today, folks. I'm almost going to finish off here, but of course, you know, some other people, I don't know what I always say again, they actually say to people, you know, well, Rene, I can make $300 in my first month just by doing this, okay? Again, typically they're referring to the bonuses they can make in their company, okay? And what I say is this. That's because your company focuses on paying out more in bonuses and less in commissions. It means that your checks will be up one month and down the next month. I am interested in building a long-term, stable, residual income business with focus on commissions and good bonuses at the same time. And when you look at that person and they know, of course, that what they're talking about is all these little bonuses, you tell them, you know what, to me, I'm not looking at it because that's just bonuses. You know, 1 month your income's high, the next month your income is low. I'm not interested in a plan where my income will be unstable. I'm interested in a plan where my income grows stably, steadily for the long term. And that is how you answer those sort of objections you might get sometimes. And last but not least, folks, you want to finish it here. This is what I call the TKO, the final move, the special combo secret, the Hadouken, Shoryuken, whatever you want to call it. Here's how you finish out the conversation. You say, look, if you want to work hard for 5 years and take out the next 50, you need to find a compensation plan that pays you the most stable, highest commission possible, and the easiest plan to work with, right? Doesn't that just make sense, folks? Yes, it does make sense. So why would you build more than 2 legs when a GWT is only 2? Why would you choose to only get paid down to certain levels when GWT pays to infinity? Why would you choose varying commission percentages when GWT is 8% from the first level down to infinity? Why would you choose a compensation plan that flushes when GWT never flushes volume? And why would you want to go through ranks where GWT has no rank? You earn the highest amount on day 1. John, it's time for you to join GWT. And ladies and gentlemen, that is compensation plans made super simple. I hope that it gives you much more insight. And of course, if there's any questions, be more than happy to take it. But again, I want to say thank you to my wonderful host, Sherry Zhao, and for all of you guys tonight for being on the call tonight. Sherry, the call's back to you.
Wow, that's excellent training. Thank you so much, Rene. Your wisdom, your knowledge just just showed right here, and everyone is here and taking a lot of notes, and we all enjoyed your training a lot. So I see if you do have any question, please send it in, and while we still have Rene here, we can grab a piece of him right now. So let me see. We do have some questions coming in, and let's start from Shauna Robinson. She said, wow, amazing training, National Ambassador Rene Liaw. I'm glad to be part of a company that allows individuals the opportunity to have a fair chance and a pathway to 7-figure to the billion with GWT. Absolutely. Thank you, Shauna. And Franklin is asking if this training is recorded and going to be posted on YouTube and on our GWT.com. And absolutely, it's recorded, and we are going to post it as soon as we can. And then Denise is asking, thank you, Rene. Can we have access to these slides somewhere soon? So, Rene, are you gonna post the slides too?
Yes. What I'm going to do is I'm going to post the training, of course, on the OurGWT.com website, just because I can put it there. And then, of course, aside from the YouTube video recording you will find there, I will also put the link to this PowerPoint slide that we used for tonight. So thank you, Denise, for that great question. Back to you, Sherry.
Okay, thank you, Rene. So Angela says, awesome, thanks, Rene. And then Elizabeth saying, what is GWT's current retention rate?
I believe that the overall retention rate is about 75% or higher. Now, mind you, of course, for some of the newer people who joined in the last year or 2 years, I know that, for example, in Poland, I think the retention ratio is about 94%. I know that, within some of my own team here, for example, Marlo's team, again, and even some other people who joined in the last year, have 2 years, the retention ratio is well over about 92% as well, too. So, of course, it really depends, but overall, I'd say between the last sort of, many years of GWT, it's about 75% the last time I heard. Back to you, Sherry.
Okay, thank you, Rene. So Anne-Marie saying, thanks, Rene. That was very powerful. And Sean Haynes said, awesome training from my brother from another mother. Not to mention the FDA regulations are getting stricter and more challenging for health and nutrition. Absolutely. I agree with you, Sean. And so GWT is #1, absolutely. So,
yeah, because recently I've actually seen, we can really talk a long time about, sort of why GWT has such a high retention ratio. I did do that training call before. But one other company, one thing that you want to understand, folks, when it comes to other companies launching, and there are a few companies today that are launching a lot in the gold bars or the silver coin sort of industry, or even other sort of packages companies. The main thing to understand that is, whenever you can actually buy any of these products from another source where it's basically going to be the same thing but cheaper. So, for example, gold coins, you can buy it from the Canadian Mint or the U.S. Mint. For another company to charge you more for a gold coin just because of some sort of collectible side of it will typically have a lot of regulations issues. So, the main thing is, a company can have sell products that have sort of unrealistic, inflated retail value. So not to make it more complicated, but I just want to add a quick point and share it back to you.
Thank you, Rene, for these additional points here. And so Len with a Q in the middle of the name. Lando is saying, some training, Rene, lots of information and money notes taken here. Sean Haynes had amazing training with great info. Oh, it's Jeanette. Okay. Darlene said, if ranks do not dictate income and all ranks are paid the same commission, what is the benefit of joining at the increased rank levels?
Okay, so I think there might have been a bit of confusion on the rank versus the packages. Okay, so in GWT we have 5 different packages. Again, we started with just the diamond package, and we created lower packages for people to get started with. For example, with the retail or silver, those packages were so important for countries that have low income. So my point here is that, in GWT, just by joining, the gold package or the diamond package, you're basically maximizing, your team commissions and the highest payout possible in the company. Okay, whereas in other companies, you have what's called ranks. So aside from joining different packages in other companies, even if you join the biggest package in other companies, it doesn't entitle you to have the highest commissions. You have to attain different kind of ranks. So you can never join another company at a certain rank. You typically have to work your way up these ranks. What I'm talking about, though, is we have basically different packages. And just by joining, or upgrading at your own pace to these higher packages, you can unlock the highest commissions. We have nothing, some kind of ranks that say, the higher you go, the more you make. So hopefully that clarifies that question. Thank you, Darlene. Sherry, back to you. Okay, so I think you're still on mute there, Sherry. But
Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. I was talking and then I heard you again. Denise is asking, can you say the site again? I think it's I believe she's referring to rgw.com. And Mary said, how many distributors do you need to earn $1 million in GWT?
Right. So I just go over the last website. Make sure it is our, so OURGWT.com. And I'll be putting this training, the link to Facebook, of course, back to my website. But you can find a lot more training material on that website there. And to answer Mary's question, which is how many distributors you have to earn $1 million, you can basically answer that question in like 50 different ways. It depends if you're talking about, on all the bonuses or just on residual income. So, for example, for myself, I had 4,000 distributors when I broke $1 million, and that was over 4 years. So it really depends on how you're calculating that ratio. So we can really, if you want to, we can get together and break that down. You could do it based upon just monthly IA. You could do it based upon, just packages or just retail sales, or you could do it on combination of all three, include some bonuses on the side. So it really depends. But I know that for Rene Liaw, he made his first $1 million again within his first 27 months. I believe he had as well as about 4,000 distributors at the point in time, but he did a lot faster as well too. So, and Sherry, back to you.
All right. So Doris said, great training, Rene, extremely beneficial. And Allison said, what are the minimums to actually make a paycheck? Number to enroll and how many left, right?
Okay, so to go over that, you definitely want to contact your My5 because there are many different ways to earn commissions or to earn income. Again, you could simply enroll one person at silver, and because they received their $500 Posh kit with them made a $50 wholesale profit. So if one person made $50, it will be $10. So it really depends on which of the income streams you're talking about. And of course, on my website, on the company website, we do have more, or go watch our training online. Thank you, Allison. Back here.
Thank you. And Elizabeth says thanks. And so, can you hear me? Okay. So Marshall said, this is amazing. Thanks, bro. Minnesota team is excited and pumped and very powerful, and we are going to be unstoppable. Great, Marshall. I'm proud of you, and you are taking a great leadership there. Mary said, great training and super informational. Thanks, Rene. Ryan says, thanks, awesome training. Glad to be part of this company. Dorsey said, fantastic training, made so simple to discuss with others. So Dorsey from Halifax. And Junior said, wow, wow, wow. Thanks, Rene, for very powerful training. We are so fortunate to have the best comp plan in the entire industry. And we definitely have the responsibility to tell the world that GWT in their home for true residual income. Okay, thanks, Junior. And Vanessa said, great training. I lost part of it due to the internet connection. Will be listened after. Yes, it's recorded. So
make sure you have Facebook.
Okay. Right. And Sean, I think it's Sean. Sorry. How to spell her? Shanara, yes, sorry. Shanara, well, thanks, Rene, for such an incredible training tonight. Took a lot of notes to use, the best of the best, and keeps getting together, keeps getting better to the billion. JP said, where can I find the payment plan, the payment plan from direct sales company that Rene talked about?
Okay, so on my website, so on the OURGWT.com website, on the left banner has all the training in alphabetical order. And if you click on compensation plan comparisons, so again, the category is called compensation plan comparisons, you will find all of the different comparisons I've done for most of the companies that come to my attention. So thanks for that, JP.
Presentation, this sort of information can only serve to empower OLCs. Thank you. And Alan said, are you actively looking for people that are already in direct sales to have this debate discussion with?
The answer is no, because from my personal experience, whenever I do, whenever you go out there trying to create a debate, or essentially you're having like a bit of a back and forth. Typically, when someone else loses, and you think you won, in actuality, you actually lost. So this training is just more for everyone to understand, to shift their mindset, so. Once they understand that, you have a really strong comp plan, the main thing to focus on is the underlying issue again here, right, which is the product stuff. So some people who think that, even though your comp plan is better, if they're still stuck on health and wellness, you still lost, right? So for me, what I always do is that, as my usual daily sort of DMO, is get out there, meet people, build like and trust, show them the tour, and if needed, then this training comes into play. But I never start off a conversation with this, because typically you're trying, basically imagine someone came to you and said, hey, John, I'm trying to prove that your comp plan pays less than mine. Usually they don't even want to talk to you. So again, focus on the main steps to doing an approach, which is like and trust, like and trust, like and trust. Back to you, Sherry.
Yes, absolutely agreed. Like and trust is the key. Thank you so much, Rene. Raza, number one, top income earner, also listen to your training, and what he said is amazing training as usual. Everyone should study and perfect this. So I agree with you, Raza. Thank you. And so let's see. Akisha said, way to go, Rene. You just made my life easier. Thank you. Darcy said, fabulous training, Rene. This really make it easy and for each of us to respond to others when they are talking, talking up their compensation plan. We are now blow them away. And JC said, awesome training, thanks. And Ryan said, I got more motivated to build my the other leg, while one of my legs has grown. And thanks for the whole team working together to build momentum. This training, Rene, is very powerful. Thanks again. So that's pretty much all the comments and questions as of now. And thank you very much to be participating in this call, and thank you so much, Rene, for your awesome training. And now we know why you are really like to achieve what you have achieved so far. All these great questions and all this research you have done, all this compensation comparison you have done, everything you have done that shows you're really serious a business person, and make this business as very, very serious business that you put everything together. As a business person, we should always.
I love it.
Well, really, seriously, I really admire that everything that you put together for us, and all the researches and all this, and you make our life very easy to, when we have 89 million out there, you always gonna meet someone who has already in the network marketing, and they probably don't have as much knowledge as you. But then with Rene's questions, and you just need to really perfect that 6 questions that Rene just shared with you, and then go back to them and they really have nothing to say after you ask this question. They will feel really, you know, where this guy come from. So I truly appreciate you and put this together for us. Thank you so much, Rene. And we're gonna see each other. Yes, we're gonna see you on the next Sunday night. Next Sunday night, actually, I'm going to put a training together for the networking, and that's what where I find my people. So you're probably gonna like about that too. So I see you everyone on next Sunday night. Thank you again. Bye, Rene.
Bye. You're welcome. Bye, everyone. Thanks, everyone.
Bye.